How do you deal with mom guilt when you take time for yourself? What is the hardest part about balancing motherhood and your own identity? And how do you teach your child healthy emotional expression when you're still learning it yourself? Those are the questions I'll be diving into in this video. So make sure to stick around till the end so you get the answers to everything. Hi and welcome back. If it's your first time here, I am Clarize. This is my channel where I talk all things women, helping women, empowering women, and helping that woman who knows she's meant for more finally answer that call. So if that is something you're into, make sure to subscribe because I would love to have you as part of my community. Good. Let's dive right into the first question for today. It is, how do you deal with mom guilt when you take time for yourself? By changing your mindset. That's my honest opinion. By changing your mindset and letting go of the mom guilt, because you are important too. You do need that time for yourself. You actually do need to take a step back and take care of yourself. This is my best explanation to always say it. It is like you cannot pour from an empty cup. So by you taking time for yourself, it is taking that step back, filling your own cup, and coming back stronger so that you can give and pour from the overflow. Don't get me wrong, I've messed up big time in the past, and when it comes to perfect mothering, I'm not number one, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. But what I do know is I wake up every day and I do try my best. But I do try my best in knowing that my child needs me to be happy. There's actually been a study about that thriving children is dependent on a mother's happiness. So the happier the mother is, the more the child is able to thrive. And for you to actually be happy, you need to start doing things that make you happy, like taking time for yourself, going for that massage, just doing what makes you happy. You are allowed to be yourself outside of being a mother. You are allowed to take care of yourself. You are allowed to fill your own cup. So after my divorce, I actually had a very hard time. I was severely in survival mode and I wasn't able to be a happy and fulfilled mother for my child. I just wasn't able to. And I was so focused on doing things to make him happy. I didn't realize that me dissociating emotionally because of survival mode, I wasn't able to be the mother he needed. And we always had a very close bond. I don't want to say we didn't. We always had a very close bond. There was a lot of love between us always, but I still felt like it could go deeper. It can be better. And eventually at some point, like I was working night shift and just everything just felt like I couldn't deal anymore. I was burning out and I basically, I wouldn't say I gave up, but I just realized that I had to take a step back. Something needed to happen, something needed to change, and my child had to go live with his father for like a year, which was, if you're a mother, you know that's very hard because it wasn't next door. So I basically only saw him like once a month and on holidays. But in that time when he wasn't with me, like I did cry like non-stop for the first 2 weeks, which was very hard for me. I took that very hard. But then after that, it's like I came back stronger. I realized that the only way for me to have a great bond with my child is to work on myself, to start filling my own cup. And in that time, I did that. I started growing. I started working on myself even more. I was on a healing journey already before that, but at that point it was just like there was a few things I still needed to get done, and and to be honest, it really felt like there was just doors closing in on me and I had no choice but to do that. And I had to go into that isolation just to be with myself and take care of myself and put myself first for just a little while. And it really helped me because since my son came back, we only have a stronger bond because I'm able to be a more attentive mother. I'm able to be more present and just joyful and happy with him. And actually, I've seen the difference in him. He is also thriving. He's also happy. No, I'm not saying that we don't have our hiccups every now and then, or me still like getting moody while I'm on PMAs or something, like stuff like that still happens. But I know how to regulate myself. I know that taking care of myself is one of the most important things, and having guilt about that is not going to bring me anywhere in life anyway. So I might as well just let go of the guilt and start taking care of myself, because not only in taking care of myself, I modeled that to my child. I modeled to my child that it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to attend to your own needs instead of everybody else's needs, and neglecting yourself and abandoning yourself. That I'm becoming that model to him that I want him to be. I also want him to be able to take care of himself, to put himself first, to stop abandoning himself in certain situations. And I feel like according to society, this would be like very selfish, but it's not. It is actually the most selfless act you can do, is taking care of yourself and letting go of that mom guilt. Because, like I said, fill your own cup and then give from the overflow, because everybody will just benefit from you doing that. So it's okay to take care of yourself. You do need to take care of yourself, and you do need to put yourself first. Good, which leads me to the second question, is what's the hardest part about balancing motherhood and your own identity? And I feel like it comes down to society. I feel like society puts this pressure on women of, if you become a mother, you're only allowed to be a mother. But that's not true. You are still you. I am still a mother, and I'm still Clarize. And I need to nurture both sides of myself to still stay within my own identity. And again, modeling to my child that it's okay to have your own identity and be strong within yourself. And I feel like when it comes to society, just put in the earplugs. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to be this perfect mother everybody puts on a pedestal. Perfection doesn't exist anyway, so why do we want to be it? And also, I feel like in small things that happen, that you can't always be 100% all the time. It's impossible. And what's good about that is micro traumas creates resilience in children, which is something you do want. And if you are someone who does everything for your child and is always there, and you don't have your own identity, the only thing you're doing is you're creating codependency in your children or your child, which is the worst thing you can do for your children. You don't want a child growing up codependent. You want them to be independent and have their own identity. And for them to have that, you need to focus on having that for yourself first. It is to become independent and stop being codependent or creating codependence on your children, and stop trying to be the good mom and the best mom and all those things. You're only burning yourself out, and it's creating more trauma than you having your own independence and your own identity. So I want you to block out society and get into the mindset of, it's okay. I can be both. I can be a mother and I can still be me. That is okay. I feel like it comes down to me. I used to have this massive fear of being a horrible mother. I never in my life wanted my child to feel like I did something wrong, or I did them dirty, or something like that. Or maybe I could have been a better mother in some way. That was actually a shadow of mine, of feeling that way. And eventually, in that year when my son didn't live with me, I became to realize that my son will love me no matter what. Because if I think back to my childhood, I always tried to love my mother. I always wanted to love my mother. And I always wanted a relationship with my mother. And I feel like I needed to take that step back and realize that I can't be perfect. And that's okay. I can't be what everybody expects me to be. I can only be who I am, and that is good enough. I just feel like as women, we are so hard on ourselves to be perfect for our children. And the truth is perfection doesn't exist. And that's okay, because that is what makes you unique, and that is what creates that stronger bond between you and your child. And that is why I love connective parenting, because in connective parenting it is about having your own identity and taking care of yourself, so that you can be emotionally present and understand your children better and be there for your children the way they need you to be for them. Not the way you think they need you, but the way they need you. And that is a huge difference. I feel like all of the time, we think that we want to be there for our children the way we need to be there for them. We don't flip the script and see it as, I need to be who they need me to be. And that becomes down to being your own person and having your own identity and taking care of yourself and becoming emotionally present in all of that. Okay, and then the last question is, how do you teach your child healthy emotional expression when you're still learning it yourself? By taking him on the journey with me, by being present with myself and gaining awareness of my own emotions, of saying that I am feeling sad now, I'm feeling overwhelmed now, I'm feeling angry now, I'm feeling happy now. And in feeling all those things and verbalizing it to my son, it actually helps him understand his own emotions even better. So I take him on the journey with me and communicating with him and being open with him. And I do want to tell this story of the other day. So sometimes we walk through the shop, and this one day we had earphones in our ears, and we went to the shop, and we got to the shop, and I started feeling very overwhelmed because it was music playing in my ears. I had to think, there was all these people, and I was thinking about him and everything, and I started to feel agitated, and I turned off the music. And then he was like, no, because I had one earplug in my ear and he had another one in his ear. And then he started, playing the music again, and I'm like, no, stop doing it. And I actually got very agitated about it. And then eventually it passed and whatever, and then a few days later we did that again. We put in the earplugs and we wanted to go to the shop. And before that I told him, okay, but when we get to the shop, we need to turn the music off. And he's like, why? And I said, because I get overstimulated, because it's the music playing in my ears. I have to think, I have to watch, it feels like I'm all over the place, and that's just too much for me. So if I put the music off, then I feel like I can regulate myself better. And he was like, okay, cool. And I actually felt so proud of him, because when we got to the shop, we were barely at the door, and then I heard the music go off, and I looked at him and he was smiling at me, the sweetest smile, and he was like, I turned it off. And that made me realize, just communicating to our children that how we feel and what we go through helps them understand us better, helps them understand their own emotions better. And then he knows, okay, my mom will get overstimulated, she will get agitated, and none of us likes being in that situation. So let me just do my part and we're both happy. And even till now, if I say, because I am a highly sensitive person, I get overwhelmed very quickly, and then I get agitated or whatever, the moment I feel like there's too much going on around me, my senses are in overdrive, I just tell him, I need a minute. I am overwhelmed. Can we turn something off? Can we put something away? There's too much clutter or whatever. He actually helps me, because he understands that I'm aware of my emotions, I'm aware of myself, and he actually works with me. And I feel like teaching your children emotional expressions while you're still learning them creates for them to respect you better. And it doesn't have to lead to discipline in a very strict way. And I feel like there's a huge difference between creating fear in your child and creating respect in your child. And I feel like, especially when we go back a few generations, it was all about inflicting fear on your children to get them to obey you and to basically respect you, but they don't respect you. If you inflict fear in a child by hitting them all the time, shouting at them all the time because you don't know how to regulate yourself, you don't know your healthy emotional expression, they will disrespect you even more. And that's what I love about femininity, is like the way it taught me to become softer. It taught me to become more nurturing and attentive and emotionally intelligent, which created my child to respect me more. For him to also be softer with me, for him to also listen to me when I speak up the first time. And I feel like so many people get it wrong. They feel like they need to inflict fear on their children, and that's the only way they'll get their children to obey or to listen to them. But I'm here today telling you that as a mother who has been there, who was trying to control my child by inflicting fear in him, the approach I have now, the softer, the more connective approach I have now, I get more from my child. I get more compliance from my child. I get more respect from my child. He listens to me more. He understands me more. And one thing that motherhood has taught me about love, patience, and resilience is that respect is the center of it all. That your child do need to respect you, but for your child to respect you, you need to respect them first. You do need to see them as their own person. You do need to understand that they too have emotions, just like you do. You do need to understand that it is their first time doing this, just like it's your first time being a mother. And I'm not saying all of this because I want to create more mom guilt in you. I want to say this to you with love and to help you understand that it's okay to mess up sometimes, but you do need to take your children on the journey with you of becoming a more connective mother and becoming a mother with her own identity and a mother who takes care of herself. I mean, we are mothers, and we have experienced time and time again that even through the late nights and the sick nights and the high temperatures and all of those, like, we'll still be fine at the end of the day. As mothers, I feel like we are so strong, and I feel like we do need to be a bit softer on ourselves. And I know for me as a single mother, it sometimes does feel impossible, especially when it comes to being both the nurturer and the provider. And I'm not saying that every day is a breeze, but I'm saying that I'm not too hard on myself all the time. And I do take my child on this journey with me. And I do tell him, I'm open to him about my stresses. And I do tell him that this has got me stressing, and how can we work together? And being a mother sometimes feel like it's the hardest job on earth, but I'm telling you that it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't have to be. It can be the most beautiful thing there is if you focus on yourself, your femininity, and being a connective parent and becoming emotionally present. So yes, that is it for today. If you are a single mom like me, I have created the Single Mom Self-Worth Journal, which I feel like helps so many women remember that they are still worthy and they deserve their own self-worth and self-respect. I will link that for you in the description below. Also, if you would love to reset back into your feminine, if you've lost that part of yourself, I've created a Reset into Your Feminine mini course, which is like a 7-day quick mini course just helping you just reset back into your body, becoming more present, emotionally present in yourself. So I will also link that for you below into the description box. And then I am looking forward to see you again on the next episode. But first, if you would like questions you'd like answers to, you're most welcome to email me. I've been getting a few emails, which I love because I'm good at responding to questions. You are most welcome to just email me at hello@clarize.online. I will link that for you below. Or if you would love to check out any of my other digital products, which are amazing, you can just visit my website, which is clarize.online. But anyway, don't think about it too much. Everything will be linked below in the description box. And then I'm looking forward to see you again on the next episode. Until then, all my love, goodbye.